My name is David. I used to be the head of the Cane crime family, said to be the largest group in the Kanto region. That was just until recently, though. Now I've handed over the leadership seat to my son, and as chairman, I'm taking it easy. Thinking about enjoying some of the things I never got to experience before. One of those things is visiting this rustic hot spring inn. Up until now, I mostly went to high-end inns because I was the head of the group. But now, in my older years, I've come to appreciate the calm and simplicity of a rustic inn. To unwind and relieve all that built-up stress, a place like this is perfect. An open-air bath surrounded by rocks, with nothing but mountains in view. This quiet inn barely has any other guests, and when I walk down the hallway, it creaks with each step. There's an old ping-pong table and even a rare jukebox from back in the day. After finishing my soak in the hot spring, I reach for a bottle of iced latte from a nearly empty fridge. Nothing beats this after a hot bath. I mutter to myself, then sink into a massage chair that starts up after popping in a coin. After enjoying the bath, I head back to my room. On the way, I pass by the gift shop, but it doesn't offer much of interest. Well, this is quite something. Not a single item here catches my eye. Just then, I hear the voice of the innkeeper. Please, I'm begging you, enough already. Come on, Miss Innkeeper. Even if you say that, you're still running a business here. We're just making sure you can run it safely. That's a mutually beneficial arrangement, right? But I really can't pay anymore. What do you mean? You've got a nice place here. No reason you can't pay. But hardly any guests come by these days. Then advertise more. Are you promoting this place at all? Or are you slacking off? I'd like to, but I don't have the money for that. Hey now, you don't need money to advertise these days. Use social media, get the word out yourself. If you do that, plenty of folks will see it. No money required. You can't complain about guests not showing up if you're not even trying. I am trying, believe me, but this inn is falling apart in places. Then fix it. Leaving it broken and saying you can't is just an excuse, isn't it? Repairs cost money, too. Look, you want guests to come, right? Then focus on fixing up the inn first. Or heck, why not market it as a charming old place? Then nobody would mind the worn-down look, they'd come here because of it. Yes, I suppose, but it's not exactly bringing in money right away. Yeah, I get that. So as I said, I really can't make any more payments. Hey now, that's not what I want to hear. We're just politely asking you to pay the protection fee. That's all there is to it. So why try to shut it down with a simple "I can't"? But I'm telling you, there's no money. And like I said, without guests, it's just impossible. Come on, now. Look, there's even an old man over there browsing souvenirs. He's a guest, isn't he? That's what you need to do, serve the customers you have. That'll draw more in over time. Even if you say that. Is that old guy here alone? No, he's not. How many in his group? It's a party of 3. See? You've got 3 guests, don't you? That's enough to cover this month's protection fee. Don't go saying there aren't any guests when there clearly are. Yes, but even with 3 guests, there's barely any profit. I just can't manage the protection fee on top of everything else. And I'm not running this inn alone. I have to pay the maids, the chef, even the doorman. No matter what you say, it's simply impossible to pay. I don't care about any of that. That's your problem to figure out, not ours. Enough already. It's been a rule to pay every month since the previous owner's time. But that was back when we had more guests, and it was the last owner's agreement, not mine. I never agreed to it. You think you don't have to follow the previous owner's agreements? Even out here in the sticks. You've managed to stay in business because the Kingston crime family has been watching over you. We've been protecting this place all these years. Now, you're just going to ignore that? Please, I'm begging you. Just leave me be. It's hard enough to keep this in running as it is. Listen here. Keep this up, and you're going to regret it. You keep saying you can't pay. Maybe we should just smash up this place so you'll never be able to open again. What? We wouldn't mind. It's an old, rundown inn anyway, we can destroy it anytime. No. In that case, there wouldn't be any inns left, would there? So, you wouldn't have to pay protection fees anymore, right? Yeah, that's true. If that happens, you wouldn't have to pay anymore. That might actually work out better for you, don't you think? You got it. We're serious here. I'll be back tomorrow, so have it ready by then. The men left the inn, but their words were clearly meant to intimidate. Once they were gone, the innkeeper sank to the ground, looking as if she might collapse at any moment. Ma'am. I spoke gently to the innkeeper, who seemed lost in despair. She looked at me with vacant eyes, but as soon as she realized I was a guest, she managed to smile. I'm so sorry you had to witness that. What's going on? Those men looked like mob. Ah, yes, actually, they are. I heard something about a protection fee? Yes, they're demanding a monthly protection fee, but as you can see, we barely have any guests. And with the protection fee to pay every month, it's impossible to make ends meet. Yet they've come again this month. Sounds like they're really pushing you. Yes, which is why I'm planning to close the inn at the end of this month. Really? Is that so? Yes, you're our final guest. I thought we might close without anyone else visiting. But I'm grateful to have at least one guest for the inn's final days. I see. Yes. I've done everything I could, but it's reached its limit. The place is falling apart. I've polished every day. But there's only so much you can do without real repairs. Are you truly okay with closing the inn? Well, it's a little embarrassing to tell you, but my grandmother started this inn. She raised my mother alone with its income. My mother often said it was only because of this inn that she could raise me. Later, she married, but my father didn't like working, so they divorced. And the inn once again supported my family. It's been passed down to me, the third generation. I've tried to keep it going. But with the protection fees rising, I simply can't keep up. So, even though I don't want to close, I have no choice. The innkeeper looked around the inn, her gaze lingering. I see. So, this inn has been the lifeline for 3 generations. Yes, so, ideally, I wouldn't want to close it. But I suppose I have to. I understand. I looked at the old inn thoughtfully, then spoke up again. Ma'am. Yes? If the protection fee were gone, would you continue running this inn? Yes, without the protection fee, we could manage, even on a smaller scale. We do still have some loyal guests. I see. Which group are those men with? The Kingston crime family. Got it. I'll take care of this for you. What? But, look, I'm the chairman of the Kane crime family, the largest group in the Kanto region. There's nothing I can't handle. Oh, so you're in the mob? Sorry if I startled you. The 2 men with me are senior members of my group. One of my top men insisted on sending them along since I was visiting a hot spring. I thought I wouldn't need them. But it seems like they'll come in handy after all. So don't worry about it. I'll make sure your inn is safe. But I don't want to be a burden. It's no trouble. I have some free time on my hands. But even if you help, I can't offer any kind of reward. We're really struggling. You don't need to worry about that. Just an old man's whim, Besides, this inn carries the memories of the previous owners. I'd hate to see it shut down. And if nothing else, it'll be a nice way to pass the time. Oh, things can't be expressed in words. Thank you so much. No need to thank me. I haven't even done anything yet. With that, I stepped away from the innkeeper and returned to my room. As I entered, my two senior members, noticing my return, greeted me with a bow, seated respectfully on the floor. Welcome back, Mr. Kane. Hey, did you two get to try the hot springs yet? No, not yet. I see. Well, before that, it looks like we have a little something interesting to take care of. Interesting? Yeah, a little helping hand. When I said that, the two of them exchanged puzzled looks. I explained what I had just witnessed to them. As expected from a senior member of the Kane group. He frowned upon hearing my words. That's unforgivable. Should we go pay them a visit? Charging in with just the three of us might not be wise. We don't know how many they have. We'll end up getting beaten ourselves if we're not careful. So, call Owen and have him gather some men. Once they're here, we'll go and show them what's what. Understood. Eric, one of my senior members, immediately contacted Owen and relayed my orders. Owen agreed and promised to send reinforcements our way. It was the following day. I got a message from Owen saying that the members had gathered and were on their way over here. Thinking it was just a matter of waiting now, I settled into a sofa in the first floor lounge. But soon enough, the same men from yesterday barged in again. Hey! We're here to collect the protection money. The two mob men strutted in, voices loud and overbearing. Mr. Kane, looks like it's them. Yeah, looks like they showed up a bit early. What should we do? Want to take them down now? Let's try talking first. If we get rough here, the staff might be scared. Good point. As they were talking, the innkeeper came over from the back. She looked as if she was completely troubled. The other staff had paused their work, watching anxiously. Well, lady. Got the money ready, I hope? Well, the thing is. What do you mean, the thing is? Don't tell me you can't pay. Yes, as things stand, there's just no way to come up with that amount. If you can't pay, then use that body of yours to earn the money. One night's work would cover it, wouldn't it? Stop making excuses. With that, he knocked over a vase on the front desk. The beautifully arranged flowers tumbled to the floor, and he crushed them under his foot. Hey, take it easy there. No need for rough stuff. What was that? Sir, didn't you know? Collecting protection money is illegal these days. Even in a quiet hot spring town like this, you can't escape the law. Who the hell are you? Some cop or something? Nah, I'm not with the police. Ha! Like the mob cares about the law. Are you stupid? These days, you'd better know the law if you want to avoid getting busted. Just because you're a mobster doesn't mean you're above justice. Shut up. Don't go acting all high and mighty with us. You're just some guest here to soak in the hot springs. If you don't want to get hurt, sit down and stay quiet. Can't do that. I made a promise to this innkeeper yesterday. I don't know what kind of promise you made, but you'd be wise to stay out of our business. Maybe it's you who should keep quiet and avoid any trouble. What was that, old man? Do you know who you're talking to? Doesn't matter who you are. Just a couple of low-level thugs, I guess. Who are you calling low-level thugs? We're members of the Kingston crime family. We've got a bit of a reputation around here. If you mock us, you'll regret it. Seems to me you'll be the ones regretting it. If you need funds for your group, try making an honest living somewhere else. What we do and where we do it is none of your business. Lady, if you're going to ask for help, maybe you should have chosen someone better than this old guy. Hate to disappoint, but while I may be old, I've got 2 young men here with me. Think you 2 can take them on? 2 on 2? We're not worried. You're truly a reckless bunch. Mr. Kane, should we take care of these guys? Kane? I don't care who he is, if he thinks he can take us down, he's got another thing coming. We've never lost a fight. Well, I'd rather not cause any trouble inside the inn if I can avoid it. I glanced briefly at the innkeeper. Her face was pale. If we started a brawl here, something in this inn she cared about would probably get destroyed. And I didn't want to see her hurt by that. Take it outside. What's wrong with here? If we fight here, something in the inn will get broken. Don't you get that? Who cares if this rundown inn stuff gets smashed? It'll be shut down soon anyway. And why's that? That's up to the innkeeper, but if she can't pay the protection fee, this place is done for. I see. You people really are rotten to the core. But I have no intention of letting this inn close. Like I care. Eric, take these fools outside and deal with them. Understood. My senior members stepped forward, grabbed the 2 thugs by their arms, and hauled them out the door. Hey, what the hell are you doing? You just heard the chairman, didn't you? He told us to take you out. What? Prepare yourselves. You went and crossed Mr. Kane, chairman of the Kane crime family. You'll see what that means soon enough. The Kane crime family. That's right. That man over there is Mr. Kane himself. You're lucky he isn't taking you on himself, he might have ended your lives if he did. But since it's just us, we'll spare you that much. Don't give me that crap. I don't care if you're the Kane crime family. We're the Kingston crime family, and here on our turf, things run our way. No matter who you are. Save it. In a fight, there's no turf, you're just flies buzzing around. Alright, enough talk. Take them down quickly. We don't want a scene scaring away any guests. Yes, Mr. Kane. Alright then, nothing personal, yeah? With that, my senior members charged at the 2 men. The thugs tried to run, startled by the speed of their attack, but there was no escape. As they seized the men, fists flew, landing squarely on their faces. The men were pinned to the ground before they had a chance to fight back, taking a final blow. Idiots. Thinking they could stand up to us with that kind of strength? They're like helpless babies. Just then, Eric's phone rang. Mr. Kane, it's from our underboss. He says the reinforcements have arrived and are waiting outside the Kingston crime family office. Good. They got here faster than I expected. Alright, take these 2 along as a little gift for the Kingston crime family. Yes, sir. Ma'am, do you have anything we can use to tie these guys up? They might start thrashing around otherwise. Oh. Yes. I'll get something right away. The innkeeper rushed inside and returned with some rope. This is all I could find. That'll do just fine. It's just trash we're tying up, after all. I handed the rope to my senior members, who bound the men and tossed them into the inn's van. Don't worry. I'll settle things. Just wait for the good news. Thank you so much. With that, we started the van and headed for the Kingston crime family headquarters. Their office wasn't anything impressive, just a rundown building. From the steady traffic of men going in and out, it looked like they had a decent number of members. Hey, how many members does the Kingston crime family have? Oomph. We're a big group around here. They've got less than 50. Is that so? Less than 50, and that's a big group? Don't make me laugh. Hey, don't mock us. 50's plenty. The Kane crime family has 500. 50 doesn't even begin to compare. Shh. Look at all these cars parked around here. What's going on? Indeed, several cars and vans surrounded the building. Well, this should be enough, I said, stepping out of the car. The moment I appeared, my men spilled out from their cars, lining up in formation. Every one of them stood at attention, bowing their heads toward me. Good work, everyone. What is this? These are my men. Not even all of them, but I'm no fool. I didn't plan on taking on the Kingston crime family with just 3 guys. This many of you. With a force like this, even if they have 50 members, the Kingston crime family should be manageable. All right. Let's go pay Kingston's boss a visit. Leading the way, I headed to the 3rd floor office of the Kingston crime family. Behind me were 2 of their men, 2 senior members, and our senior member who'd just arrived. With this crew, we were more than prepared if things got ugly. I rang the doorbell, waiting for someone inside to open it. Soon, a junior member opened the door. I strode in without removing my shoes, stopping in the center of the room before tossing the 2 tied-up thugs onto the floor. What is this? A little gift. A gift? Who the hell are you? I'm David, chairman of the Kane crime family. Chairman of the Kane crime family? Why is the head of the Kane crime family? Mr. Kingston, the boss himself, couldn't hide his surprise at the sudden appearance of the Kane group. But we're Kane, the largest group in the region. Perhaps realizing it would be dangerous not to handle things calmly, he asked me to take a seat on the sofa. But around us, Kingston's men were tense, ready to pounce at any moment. I don't mind sitting, but could you calm down your soldiers? It's hard to have a civil conversation with this kind of atmosphere. Ah, yes, of course. Hey, you lot, sit down. And you, bring some tea for the chairman. Upon hearing his words, the members, still exuding a tense and intimidating atmosphere, reluctantly took their seats. Is this better? I nodded, taking a sip from the cheap tea they'd brought. So, can you tell me what's going on here? I fixed my gaze on Kingston, then glanced over at the 2 bound men, a smirk tugging at the corner of my mouth. So it seems your men have been demanding outrageous protection fees, haven't they? Wah! You see, I'm currently staying at a lovely inn run by a certain innkeeper. I stepped down as head of my group and decided to take it easy in the hot springs. It's a good inn, you know. Ever been there? No, not really. I don't usually visit local hot spring inns. Yeah, it's like that when places are close by, isn't it? But you should give it a try sometime. It's quite comfortable. Maybe, yeah. But, of course, if you go, you'd better make sure you don't look like a mob. Yes, naturally. It seems you understands, don't you? How much trouble it causes when mobs show up at a regular person's business, you know? Yes, of course. If they know we're mob, customers stay away. Exactly. So if that's the case, why are your men going in and out of that inn looking like thugs? Well, is it because you're in the middle of making money? Yeah. Oh, I see. But you know, these days, demanding protection fees isn't exactly legal. That's true. Right? You know what I mean, then. If the police catch wind of this, they'll start cracking down, and your men will end up in jail. So why are these guys demanding such ridiculous fees, and resorting to threats on top of that? Well, we're having financial troubles ourselves. In that case, you should find other ways to raise money. You don't have to go hounding a struggling inn for cash. But, protection fees have been a tradition for ages. Tradition? Do you think that poor inn, on the brink of closing down, can survive with fees like that? In the old days, mob believed in keeping the weak alive but not thriving, but you're out here squeezing the life out of them. And your men's methods are downright abusive. Even if you say that. Mr. Kane, sure, your group is big, but I'd appreciate it if you stayed out of our business. Oh, is that so? We're not under your organization, nor are we allied. This is our way of doing things. I'd rather you didn't interfere. So what you're saying is that I'll have to make you understand by force? What? You're telling me you won't understand unless I convince you, is that it? No, Look, I didn't come here to start a fight. I came here to talk. If you keep doing things like this, there won't be any honest folks left to run these inns. Even in a hot springs area, if no one's willing to operate an inn, you won't be getting anything out of it either, will you? Well, that's true. Then it'd be better to resolve this peacefully, wouldn't it? I understand your point, but those protection fees are an essential part of our group's income. I can't just give that up. You're really making this difficult. I've said I don't want to fight, but you're not making it easy to avoid. Look, every place has its own way of doing things. Just like you have your own way over there. No sooner had he said that than Kingston stood up, looking ready to charge at me. At that moment, the other members also began throwing punches all at once. But just then, the two tied-up men on the floor struggled to warn him. No, boss. There are tons of the Kane crime family men outside. If we start something, we'll be crushed. Boss, please stop. Hearing that voice, Kingston moved closer to the window and looked outside. What caught his eye was a fleet of cars and members of the Kane group. No way, why are so many of the Kane crime family here? Don't underestimate the Kane crime family. With a single word from me, I can gather this many men. Everyone, stop. Stop right now. If you don't want this group to be destroyed, stand down. Kingston's men froze, lowering their fists at his command. I don't think we really need a group like yours. It might be better to just wipe it out. No, please. If this group is destroyed, it's not just me, all my men will be left on the streets. Please, don't take down my group. The fierce resolve he had shown earlier had completely vanished, and Mr. Kingston sank to the floor in desperation. Seeing their leader bowing in defeat, all the Kingston crime family members followed suit, dropping to their knees in apology. Well, if the boss bows, the men follow, huh? Looks like your guys are loyal to you, Mr. Kingston. Yes, they're good men. Please, anything but destroying the group. You think I can just let this go because you asked nicely? Maybe not, but from now on, we won't collect any more protection fees. We'll figure out other ways. Just, please, spare the group. Mr. Kingston bit his lip, looking anguished, and lowered his head further in apology. All right, if you're promising to put an end to this for good, then I'll hold off on destroying your group. But that doesn't mean we're done here. You've extorted quite a bit from that in over time, haven't you? I expect you to pay it all back. We don't even know how much we've collected over the years. Is that so? I suppose it's hard to keep track of, isn't it? Yes, exactly. So, if we agree not to collect any more from them, fine, we'll overlook what you've taken so far, but you'll still owe a penalty fee. A penalty fee? That's right. About $1 million should cover it. $1 million. But we don't have that kind of money. There isn't enough in our reserves. Then take out a loan. Conveniently, I've got our loan specialist here. Perfect timing, wouldn't you say? A loan. Yes, we'll loan you $1 million, and you can pay it back that way. Understood. I'll have those two pay it back. What? Boss, we can't handle a $1 million debt. Shut up. You're the ones who caused this mess. You'll take out the loan and pay it off. Good. Get Sean over here and have him draw up the paperwork. Upon giving the order, Eric took out his phone and contacted Sean. When Sean, who had been waiting outside, came running over, I instructed them to each lend $500,000. Now, you two will each get $500,000, but you'll be working it off on a crab fishing boat. Nothing to it, just a bit cold out there. You'll get used to it soon enough. Just make sure you don't fall overboard, alright? Nobody's coming to save you if you do. Boss. Stop crying. This is for the sake of the group, so go out there and work hard. Once the two were taken away, I gathered my senior members and we headed back to the inn. Oh, welcome back. And, thank you so much. Sorry if we caused you any worry. Taking the $500,000 from Sean, I handed it to the innkeeper. This here is the penalty fee I wrung out of Mr. Kingston. Use it to rebuild this inn. What? It might not cover everything you've paid over the years, but it's a start. And you won't have to worry about the Kingston crime family coming back. If, by some slim chance, they ever do, you call me right away. Understand? I've decided to keep an eye on this place myself. As long as I'm around, I won't let anything like this happen to you again. Oh, thank you. I don't even know how to express my gratitude. No need for thanks. But in return, let my men enjoy the hot springs. They came all the way from Kanto, after all. And I'd like them to try the food here too. But, so many of them. Don't worry. I'll cover all the costs. Don't go giving us discounts either. I'm the chairman of the Kane crime family, I can handle it. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything, even for your men. They're like family to me. Alright, listen up, you lot. No acting tough or causing trouble. Don't do anything to bother the innkeeper. We're staying just one night, and then tomorrow, we're out of here. The members were overjoyed, thinking they'd get to soak in the hot springs. The staff, too, hurriedly began preparing the rooms, saying, "We'll get everything ready right away." A couple of months later, I received an invitation from the inn. It was from the newly renovated establishment, with a note from the innkeeper filled with words of gratitude.